some products in North Carolina where we are, the dry air coming through the vent system does not work well with glycerin. So we usually change over. You have a winter routine and a summer routine, and you take a cream-based product and maybe put that on as what I call a filler. It fills in the porosity of your hair. And as Colie was mentioning, you learn to adjust heavy-handed approach, a light-handed approach. You have different zones. Here's a zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3, and you apply products differently on each zone. And I give you a method to the madness. All you have to do is kind of make it your own, and it takes maybe what, like a month?
Yes, I would say that that's accurate. About a month to get that down, and then you can, like, from there, sort of like that's the foundation of the house, you know, and then you're sort of like building it on your own and experimenting with different things. And, you know, there's some really great resources online, like we were talking about before, and Scott's actually about to come out with this really cool resource for people to be able to access this via the internet if you're not in North Carolina and don't have access to him. I guess coming out in a few weeks or a month?
Yeah, I'm trying to get finish up filming the final parts of the second half of this course by the end of this month, of which Colie's going to be working her stuff. She knows how to take her hair and work with it day 2, day 3, and make it look great. Her hair looks really thick, but it's kind of on the fine side.
It is, actually.
And she's got a lot of it, so it's a thick head of fine hair. And it's not easy to work with day after day, but like you said, it takes about a month to get using this because you're working with your hair like like twice a week. But you're learning how every day to manage it and work with it. That's the hardest part of the journey. So I had people from all over the world, and she found me through my blog and on my website, have people all over the world say, when I'm willing to pay you for an online course. And that's the next step for me is developing this online course, breaking down the whole thing. Because online, as you know, isn't it overwhelming and a little bit confusing?
Oh my gosh.
When you try to find out about how to work with your hair.
It is so
YouTube, all over the place. And you try to find something, then most of the time it's not even related to your hair.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to find something with coily hair, and wavy hair is very hard to find really good information. So the course that I'm going to have is mostly for wavy and curly hair, such as our type. And that should be out probably within 2 months. And this will give you access to breaking down how your hair does what it does and an actual method to how to work with it. So you can walk around getting genuine compliments on your hair that I'm sure you get.
I do, yeah, I do. It's really fun. Again, I think the biggest part for me is just feeling the confidence in myself, like, you know, in my body, like the way that I embrace this like unique aspect of myself and say, yeah, like that is enough. Like I don't need to change it. I don't need to be like the people that I see in the media. You know, I posted about this yesterday. I think I tagged you in it, Scott. I was just talking about like the underrepresentation of people with curly, wavy, coily hair. Because I guess like the statistic is about like 65% of people actually have wavy, curly, coily hair. And when I first heard that, I was like, whoa, like really? Like that can't be, but that's because in the media we get this, and this is very similar with bodies too, also very similar with colors of people's skin, is that we get this like very like narrow view of what people look like, and a lot of times with hair, it's straightened, and right now, I know y'all know it, it's curled with the wand, or it's curled with the curling iron for these like very specific perfect curls, right? And so being able to have that confidence to not feel the urge to look exactly like everybody I see in the media has been really important for me, and I know it's important for a lot of y'all out there, especially those of y'all in the body positive community, and hopefully some of the people from Scott's community will find us over here in body positivity land as well, because we're really trying to fight back against this you know, all people should look this one way thing, whether that's body size, whether that's the color of your skin, whether that's the way your hair looks, the way your makeup is done, like whatever it is, it's like we are all so unique and we're all so beautiful in our own right, and we're really just trying to get the message out there that it's okay to be who you are, that you're lovable, that you're worthy, that you're enough as you are right now in this moment. So I'm really happy to be here, like bringing in this like hair side of things, because I don't think it's talked enough about in the body positivity community.
Yeah, and excuse me, one of the big things that really makes an impact on your hair, every time somebody comes in, I can tell your hair tells a story of what you're putting into it and what you're feeding it. So ingredients in the hair world tell a story. Does your hair get better over time, or does it get worse over time? And I think there's a big thing in probably the nutrition world that I read up on is you got to have organics. I don't know if I agree with that to a certain extent. I think if your budget can afford organics, then go for it. But if you're going to Food Line and you're finding out what's there and you get home and you wash it in the spinner and you clean it as best as you can, I guarantee you're getting nutrition out of that just compared to out of a can. So nutrition and ingredients tell a story of your hair getting better over time, your body getting over time, and I think everything can be found within somebody's budget. So I can sell products that are $25, but there may be a simple version for $15, or there may be another version that's healthy for your hair. It may not be ideal ingredients, but it won't make your hair get worse over time. So how are you with the organics and just nutrition?
Yeah, that's such a great topic. I think this like overlays like our two worlds really nicely too. In my world, like it is all about feeding your body, like giving yourself nutrition, right? Like that at the end of the day is really all that matters. We're fortunate enough to have the privilege of being able to have access to food, and that is and that's what the focus is. And so I think the same is there for your hair. And I think you said this so nicely that like in anyone's budget, whatever it is, you can find ways to start to treat your hair better, treat your body better. And a really good example of this for me, and this was like the first thing I learned that was like, oh my gosh, this blows my mind. I was shampooing my hair, you know, just normal shampoo every time I got in the shower, and I was doing it every other day because that's what you're taught, and that's even what people who cut your hair, who are trained to work with straight hair, will tell you, right? Or if your parents have straight hair or something like that, they'll also tell you the same thing. Well, the top of my hair was so frizzy. We call that the halo, right?
Yes.
It's the halo of frizz up here. And what I learned, I think I actually learned this probably first even before I saw you via your blog, which y'all should definitely check out, and I will link to later, was that like, no, you don't actually need to be shampooing. And if you are, that you need to be picking specific shampoos that don't have sulfates in it. Is that right?
Foaming agents, sulfates, yes.
So the stuff that makes it sudsy, because curly hair really tends to be much more dry, right? So stripping your hair of the oils is going to create that frizz. It's going to want to like go towards the humidity in the air. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, when it's dry, it reaches out. When it's hydrated, it stays compressed in.
Yeah, so like that's in a budget, right? To be like, oh, okay, either one, don't shampoo your hair anymore. So what I do is co-wash. I use conditioner to wash my hair. So I just use a little bit and I put it on my scalp and just kind of go around like this. And so it's like, it's cleaning it, but it's not stripping it. And anybody can do that on any budget, right? Just don't use your shampoo. Try out your conditioner. See what happens for you there. And another thing is just to find a shampoo, and you can find shampoos at the grocery store or wherever that don't have those like sudsing sulfate ingredients in them, and you can find more information about that online. So that in itself, and then like another thing that I know a lot of people use is coconut oil. I don't know how you feel about that, but that would be like on a budget sort of thing that you could use to be moisturizing your hair more, or even just leaving your conditioner in more, right?
Yeah, you want to leave some more conditioner, and you can actually leave in way more than you think you can. You don't want to leave all of it in, but you learn over time to feel your hair and see what it feels like, and then see how it dries and how it feels dry, and then try to relate the two together, and then you start applying your styling products on top of a little bit of left-in conditioner.
Yes, so to get back to your original question about like organics and ingredients and things like that, I think it really truly doesn't matter. It's what's in your budget, it's personal belief systems. As long as you are treating your body and your hair with respect, then like internally you're gonna feel better. And a lot of times, y'all, like it doesn't mean that your hair necessarily like changes a whole bunch, or your body changes a whole bunch, but what you're like radiating outward to the community and to people around you is like this this confidence, or this this self-love, which really at the end of the day I think is the most important thing. So so that's what I think about that and ingredients, and I definitely love the conversation of like, okay, how do we make all of these things accessible to everybody, no matter what kind of financial situation they have.
Yes, yes. What do you put your hair up with at night?
What do I put it up with?
Yes.
I use, I don't even have one with me. I use like one of those pieces of elastic that are tied together.
Oh, okay.
Hair
You don't
bows.
do the, did you see my post with the picture with the hair things on it?
I
You use,
did.
like,
I
use
don't
one?
use that. I don't use
Okay.
that. But I pineapple. I don't know if y'all know what pineappling is, but you basically, I can show you. Just put your hair on top of your head like this, and you look like an awesome pineapple or carrot
Yeah,
or
it's like
whatever.
a pineapple and the leaves are up on top.
Yep.
And it's very loose.
It's
right?
loose, yeah, exactly, up here, so that you're like not smushing your curls, and you can lay on your pillow here, and then when you take it down in the morning, you can kind of fluff it out. We're gonna go over this later, maybe in another video, but you kind of can like re-wet it. I spritz it with water and lavender oil, and then apply like a little bit more product to kind of get the curl to come back, and that's how I get day 2 and day 3 hair, which is really helpful because before I was doing this whole routine, and I was like, I can't do this every day, right?
So you would maybe get curly day 1.
Curly day
Then
1.
day 2, would you ever straighten it out or flatten it or just pull it back
Usually,
in a bun? Or?
usually, if y'all, those of you that know me, it would be like in this bun on top of my head, and I still do that sometimes because, like, yeah, sometimes I don't have the 5 or 10 minutes in the morning or whatever to like re-wet and get my curls back. But that was like every day for me for a long time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Not that I can think
No.
of right now. This has been really great hanging out with you and all y'all out there in virtual world. We will definitely link to each other later so that you can find our information and sort of see what we're both doing in body positivity and hair positivity.
Yes.
And maybe see y'all again later.
Yeah, there's some questions I see popping up that we'll definitely go back through and do that. It's kind of hard to read them from where we're at.
Yes.
So we'll cover some of those later on. So keep up with that post, and I'm going to post some other pictures and some links of Colie. What she's doing in her community is unbelievable. She's got a great Instagram following, and if you're trying to get exposure or learn about of how to even build up your business, she has gone from November to now to quite a big following because the impact she's making in the community is huge, and it's making a positive impact. So I encourage you guys to see her on Instagram and on, do you have a Facebook page?
I do have a Facebook page, yeah. It's just called Colie Yoga. It's the same as my Instagram, and I know that's sort of like a complicated name, so again, we'll link to it. But yeah, I do have a Facebook. I try to post things there, but I'm definitely more active on Instagram. So love to see y'all there and hear what y'all have to say and what you think about our conversation today and the intersection of these two conversations.
Definitely. All right, so I'm going to be back here again next week also, so keep up with me, and I'll post a little bit of information of what I have going on next week as well. So hang in there. And it was good meeting you guys on Instagram, and of course Scott Musgrave Hair, my Facebook page. You can check it out at Curly Hair Artistry 1 is my Instagram, as well as if you do a search and can't find Scott Musgrave Hair, it's at Curly Hair Artistry with a number 1 afterwards.
Yes, y'all definitely check him out, especially if you're in North Carolina, you can see him live, but if you're not, you can see his work and get his help on his website coming really soon. So definitely look him up.
All right, everybody, you have a blessed day.
All right, take care.
Bye.